Hello, and welcome to the Watchlist channel. Today I will show you the Season 1 of FX's drama Sons of Anarchy. It is based on the life of a close-knit outlaw motorcycle club that operates in Charming, a fictional town in the Central Valley of California. The show centers on protagonist Jack Steller, the vice president of the motorcycle club. The first episode of the series opens with a rival MC destroying a warehouse that the club uses to store and assemble guns, which is their primary source of cash. The vice president of Samcro, Jax, relocates inside the clubhouse after splitting from his pregnant ex-wife, heroin addict Wendy Case. He finds his late father John's old mementos, including a memoir of John's life as a founder member of the club, while searching a storage unit for old baby stuff. John's memoirs go into great length on his expectations for and disappointments with the Sons of Anarchy. Gemma, Jax's mother, concerns that her son is becoming docile and expresses this worry to her husband Clay Morrow, president of Samcro. Under the remains of Samcro's burned-down weapons facility, Deputy Police Chief David Hale finds the bodies of two undocumented immigrants, who Tig Traeger was concealing in exchange for sexual favors. If the club guards one of his delivery trucks, Charming's corrupt police chief Wayne Nunzer agrees to keep Hale off Samcro's radar. Jax orders Half-Sack to unearth some recently buried corpses to dump in the open in order to divert the police's attention long enough to dispose of the dead. Chief Nunzer's truck is taken over by the gang, who then uses it as leverage to force him to postpone retirement so Samcro may resume its gun-running business. Tara claims that Gemma gave Wendy the heroin that nearly killed her and who is now recovering from her overdose. Opie considers going back to Samcro due to his rising debt. The bodies of the immigrants are recovered by Tig and Bobby, who then cremate them. In the next episode, Elliot Oswald, a well-known landowner and businessman in Charming, turns to Samcro when his teenage daughter Tristan is sexually assaulted by a passing carnival. Tristan's parents object when the police ask her for information because they think the case will garner media attention. A shipment of AK-47 guns disguised in oil barrels sent from Dunloe, Ireland, arrive in Charming thanks to Samcro's IRA connection. When Wendy awakens, Tara presses her to reveal whether Gemma gave her the heroin. Wendy receives flowers from Gemma, who also cautions her against talking to Tara. Tristan and her mother are later visited by Gemma, who persuades them to reveal the identity of the rapist. The rapist, a carnival clown, is found by Samcro and brought to Elliot. Elliot then brings a special knife that is typically used to castrate bulls, which he intended to use to castrate the rapist. When Elliot changes his mind and backs down, Clay performs the castration himself and then steals the fingerprinted knife to use as blackmail against Elliot because he fears that potential land developers would draw unwanted attention to Charming. In the next day, the group makes the trip to Indian Hills, Nevada, to stockpile weapons alongside the Devil's Tribe, a sibling organization. When the Mayans become a danger, Clay chooses to patch over the tribe and incorporate them into the Sons of Anarchy. Half-Sack flirts with Cherry, a tribe groupie, at a party celebrating the reconciliation, but Clay sleeps with her as retribution for Half-Sack's admiration of Gemma. Jax draws the Mayans into an ambush at the tribe's clubhouse after spotting their bikes idle outside a nearby tavern. ATF agent Joshua Cohn starts looking into Samcro after seeing them engage in gunfire with the Mayans. Tara is cautioned by Gemma to stay away from Jax as she tries to discover more about her. A picture of Jax having sex with a girl he met on the way to Indian Hills is anonymously mailed to Tara by someone. Agent Cohn, a previous lover of Tara's from Chicago whom Tara has a restraining order against, approaches Tara. In the meantime, a transaction is arranged between Clay and Chuck Marshstein, a compulsive masturbator and bookkeeper looking for protection from his former employers in the Chinese Mafia, by Otto Delaney, a Samcro member imprisoned in Stockton. The gang assists Chuck in recovering money from a Chinese restaurant's hiding location, but when they realize the money is fake, they agree to turn Chuck up to mobster Henry Lynn. Kyle Hobart, an excommunicated member who was responsible for Opie's arrest, returns to town as a result of Gemma's fundraising event for Charming High School. Opie and Kyle engage in a fight to resolve their disputes, but when Jax and Opie notice that Kyle has not covered up his Sons of Anarchy tattoo, they entice him and have Tig burn it off with a blowtorch inside the clubhouse. The next episode begins with Jax who drive Tara home and Agent Cohn following them. Jax questions Tara about her apparent anxiety and whether it is connected to the automobile that has been following them. Tara reveals to him that she once had a violent relationship with Agent Cohn while she was living in Chicago. When she tried to break it, he stalked her. Jax, who is clearly enraged, acts quickly, stabbing Cohn's radiator and telling him that the next time it will be him. When Gemma goes to Jax's house to bring laundry, she finds that Abel's room has been looted, a collage of Jax's images has been glued to the wall, and there is a pee stain on the carpet. Jax finds Cohn in a barber shop, and throwing him through a window onto the sidewalk. He continuously punches him before Cone stabs Jax in the leg with a pair of scissors, inciting Jax to scream and continue to attack him. After that, at the police station, Cone loses his job for breaking both the law and Tara's restraining order. In the meantime, 3 Sam Crow victims, 2 Mayan bikers and Lowell Harlan Sr., the father of an auto mechanic, have their remains discovered by a construction worker. Clay claims that the Mayans killed his father, but Harlan Jr. becomes skeptical of Clay's story due to the police, and during a relapse, Harlan Jr. accuses Clay of killing his father. Harlan Sr. was an abusive father and husband, and Clay freely confesses that this is why he was slain. Bobby tries to sleep with Cherry to test her commitment to Half-Sack, but she rejects him. By betting heavily against Half-Sack, Clay, Dig, and Chibs manipulate a boxing contest. However, when Half-Sack misinterprets a hug between Cherry and Clay, he snaps and KOs his opponent rather than accepting the loss. The former Agent Cone mails Ernest Darby, the head of the Nordics, an envelope containing proof connecting Sam Crow to the IRA. Darby offers the information to Marcus Alvarez, the leader of the Mayans, in exchange for killing Clay Morrow. Sam Crow struggles to raise the money as the IRA gun payment is approaching. They borrow money from Luann Delaney, a pornographer who is married to Otto, and obtain the rest by stealing back an oil truck that was stolen from the Nords and selling it to Chief Wayne Unzer. In an effort to make up for the money he lost on his staged boxing bout, Half-Sack steals an ambulance, a move for which he receives much jeering. While Clay is meeting with Cameron Hayes, the IRA connection, the Mayans attempt to attack him. During the effort, Hayes sustains an injury and is transported to the clubhouse in Half-Sack's ambulance. Darby is pursued by the Mayans as well, but they turn around after killing the incorrect person. To get Hayes' medical supplies, Jax goes to Tara's. As soon as he departs, Cone ambushes Tara, holds her at gunpoint, and declares his love for her. He forces her to confess to having an abortion while they were dating, after which he starts to undress while leaving his holstered gun on the nightstand. He attempts to rape Tara while holding her down, but she cooperates just long enough for him to be shot in the stomach when she grabs his gun. When Jax responds to Tara's appeal for assistance, he offers to call the police but issues a warning that Cone will be free to pursue Tara after he is freed from prison. In the adjacent room, Cone overhears them talking about him and calls Tara as a biker whore. Cone is quickly killed by a headshot from Jax, who runs into the room. Jax soothes her, and they kiss and make love a few steps away from Cone's body. Sam Crow and the Mayans are getting ready for battle in the meanwhile. Unzer interrogates Clay and Darby about the Mayans' attempts to take their life. Clay asks him to bring in Alvarez, so that the 3 of them can speak. Jax asks Tara in the hospital for assistance in treating Hayes, who is badly hurt at the clubhouse. Despite everything that has transpired, he urges her to stay in Charming, and she accepts, admitting that Charming was the only place she felt safe. When they go back to the clubhouse, Tara tends to Hayes' wounds. Alvarez and Clay meet to discuss a settlement. Alvarez admits to knowing about Cone's information, and Clay proposes to sell the Mayans weapons for their conflict with the 19ers. Clay forewarns Alvarez that his men will demand blood in exchange for the attempted hit, and Alvarez responds by offering up his son S.I., who is then assassinated by Happy Loman. Opie is given an ultimatum by Donna, either her or Sam Crow, for the murder of a whistleblower named Brennan Hefner. Hayes pledges to pay off Sam Crow's gun debt and to provide a free month of firearms. Opie offers to do the work, and Clay sends Bobby and Jax as backup. When Opie is confronted with the act, he freezes, and Bobby is compelled to take over and complete the task. Even though the 3 flee quickly, Hefner's mistress notices them. When Jax returns to Cone's grave to burn the body, he also burns his father's memoirs before regretting and rescuing the scorched manuscript from the flames. Agent Stahl suspends Unzer due to his interactions with Sam Crow when the ATF seizes control of the Charming police station. Stahl puts the Sam Crow women under pressure by raiding Luann's porn business and questioning Donna, Cherry, Tara, and Gemma. Stahl travels up to Stockton State Prison, for Otto's confession to be utilized in exchange for leniency in Luann's case. Donna gets ready to say goodbye to Opie for good. Cherry is taken into custody after burning her abusive husband's house in Nevada, but Jax persuades Unzer to let him into the jail, where he notifies Luann about Stahl's scheme with Otto before letting Cherry free. Jax observes Deputy Chief Hale and Agent Stahl having sex during the jailbreak. Luann informs Otto that the ATF is aiming to charge Sam Crow with RICO, and he attacks Agent Stahl on the next visit. Despite Luann's release, the ATF conducts a raid on the Sam Crow clubhouse and apprehends Bobby for Brennan Hefner's murder. Opie is nowhere to be discovered in the meantime, despite Juice Ortiz's proof to Clay and Tig that Opie and his family might be under witness protection. Jax is suspicious of the evidence and suspects that Agent Stahl is trying to portray Opie as a traitor. Stahl tries to persuade Donna that when Opie is freed from custody, the club will murder him. After 48 hours, the ATF releases Opie and secretly bugs his bike, car, and cell phone. During a Samcro meeting, Tig uses a scanner to inspect Opie's pickup truck and cell phone for any listening devices. He discovers one that was hidden by the ATF without Opie's knowledge in a truck's cab light. Along with that, he discovers one in Opie's phone, which he places in a pitcher of beer. Tig tells Clay that he detected bugs in Opie's truck and phone, which he then destroyed. Tig is certain that they need to execute Opie and Clay agrees. He advises him to keep the murder a secret, because the club could be destroyed by the killing of a brother. Finally, Abel is in good enough health to go back to his home. Jax and Tara are having a sweet moment when Wendy enters and realizes Gemma is using her to approach Tara. Wendy confronts Gemma before telling Tara that she wants to repair her relationship with Jax and that Gemma is out to ruin Jax and Tara's union. Clay intends to sell the club's own weapons to the Mayans after selling all of their weapons that they had purchased from Ireland and running low on funds to cover Bobby's legal defense. While Tig and Opie deliver the money to Oakland, Clay and Jax are supposed to pick up the weapons. Clay, however, has instructed Tig to murder Opie. Clay makes plans with Leroy Wayne, the 1-Niners leader, to ambush the sale in an effort to play both sides of the conflict between the Mayans and 1-Niners. Clay and Jax manage to escape the ambush unharmed, but when Tig have a chance to kill Opie, he can't do it. Tig informs Clay that due to the chaos of the ambush, he was unable to murder Opie. As a result, Clay gives Tig the task of killing Opie after Abel's homecoming celebration, while making it appear as though the 1-Niners were responsible for the murder. Hale informs Unser about the bugs the ATF installed on Opie, feeling bad that Stahl's actions have been used to frame an innocent guy. At Abel's homecoming, Tara kisses Jax in front of Wendy but slaps him when he privately requests her not to flaunt their relationship in front of Wendy. Opie and his family also depart, along with Tara. Donna drives Opie's truck to run some errands for Gemma, who is busy hosting the party, while Opie drives the kids home in Donna's car. When Unser arrives at the celebration, he informs Clay that Opie is not guilty. When Unser departs, Clay makes an attempt to phone Tig but is unsuccessful. When Donna stops at a red light, Tig pulls up behind her and fires the Mac-10 at her through the back window. He stops his car to see if Opie is still alive but instead sees Donna and takes off. Opie, who regrets his decision to go back to Samcro, is comforted by Jax. When Jax makes Tara visit at the hospital to see how she's doing, Tara sobs because she feels guilty for killing Cone and uncertain about her future with Jax. When she tells Jax about her intentions to leave Charming, he accuses her of using him to carry out her evil deeds. Jax assures Tara that she is the only person he has ever loved. Piney, Opie's father, is desperate to get revenge on the 1-Niners for Donna's murder. To stop Piney from causing any trouble, Clay sends Jax, Chibs, and Half-Sack after him as he drives up to Oakland and requests to meet with Leroy. Rosen, the attorney for Bobby, informs Clay that Brennan Hefner's mistress is getting ready to testify against Bobby and Opie, and Clay uses blackmail to force Elliot Oswald to assist Samcro in identifying her so they may silence her. Hale asks Unser to assist him in taking down the club, but Unser resoundingly declines, advising Hale to let the bikers deal with the club themselves. Hale contacts Jax and informs him that he believes Clay is responsible for orchestrating the killing of Opie. When Jax challenges Clay and demands the facts, Clay lies and advises Jax to ignore the situation for the benefit of Samcro. Juice tells Jax that Hefner's mistress is a 17-year-old girl, and Jax immediately leaves to stop her assassination. Just before they are about to do the operation, he stops Happy, Chibs, and Tig. He then fights with Tig inside the safe house before leaving and drinking himself to sleep in the Charming graveyard. The next day, he wakes up and walks to Donna's funeral. He receives the Samcro Kuda from Tara and a kiss after that. He then gives Clay, Gemma, and Tig a knowing stare before placing a flower on the coffin and leaving. Piney walks up behind him and delivers Jax a new copy of his father's memoirs, saying it's time for a change. Make sure you subscribe and turn on the notification, so you can watch more video like this. Thanks for watching.